All right, guys, welcome back to the Benison channel. This is Cal Knight, and today we're going to talk about the best entry-level luxury watches to get in 2025. All right, so these are usually timepieces that are holding their value relatively well, with brands that are recommended and brands that are serviced by haute horology service centers like Benison in the United States and all over the world. And these brands are around the price point of $5,000 or less, which are considered entry level. So one of the things we want to do here is educate you so that you're not buying mall trash or the things that most of the people in the mass market consider to be good watches, which are just quartz watches or watches that aren't timepieces per se. There is a difference between the two. These are going to be timepieces that you can actually buy, look good in, feel good in, and then when you go to sell them, they shouldn't lose a lot of value either. So it's a financial play. We're going to start with number one on the list, and this is one that's lesser known. That is a Maurice Lacroix Aikon, not spelled like I-C-O-N, it's actually A-I-K-O-N. And Maurice Lacroix is a relatively newer Swiss brand of luxury timepieces, founded in 1975. They're making a huge comeback in the timepiece-based world, and the Aikon model is beautiful. It's a great case. They have different sizes, 39 millimeter to 42 millimeter, which is right where you want to be buying when you're actually looking to purchase a timepiece. That's one of the kind of case size factors that matters. So you don't want to get something usually that's under 39 millimeter unless you're going with something like a Rolex, where you can do the old school Wall Street 36 millimeter Datejust. And you usually don't want to go over 42 millimeter unless you're looking at certain brands like Panerai or brands that are more functional tool watches that have been around and notoriously are bigger sizes. So that 39 to 42 millimeter option is a great setup. They have all kinds of color combos, and the watch itself comes in predominantly steel with integrated bracelets and strap swap options. It's super underrated, and the Aikon is one of the best rising stars that you could look into. Number two on the list is an Omega Speedmaster Reduced. So why is it a reduced? It's not a functional complication thing that's being reduced, it's actually the size. So more people today are electing for a 39 millimeter or under 40 millimeter size for their watches. And the Speedmaster, which is iconic for the Omega brand, which is very well known in this space, is one of the watches that most people want to collect. They usually elect for the Moon watch, which is the standard 42 millimeter watch. That one usually goes upwards of, I'd say, 4 to 5K in the pre-owned market. So you can buy that as your first entry level timepiece if you want to step it up a bit. But the reduced pieces are usually found under 3,000. They have different color variations on the dials. They have chronograph features, and they look great. Similar to the Moonwatch Pro, they usually come on a stainless steel bracelet, and they can give you that dress look or that luxury sport feel if you want to go from the beach to the boardroom. And again, at that price point, under even 2K for some of them, you can't go wrong. You can enjoy it. You can get your feet wet in the luxury watch space, and then usually break even or make some money on it too. So I like that watch, and the 39 millimeter is really the trend nowadays. Number three on the list is Breitling Navitimers. So Navitimers have been around for almost generations now in different sizes, and it's really a aviation pilot's type style watch. You'll see all kinds of readings and measurements on the dial, which is actually something I thoroughly enjoy about Breitling. A lot of times the different variations of models have tried to go away from that in recent times, and I actually don't appreciate the movement away from that. I think what Breitling does best is being that aviation style watch, and having the instrument measurements like a pilot looks at on the watch are part of the reason that it's had such a long stay in the timepiece space. Breitling usually best sizes to go for are 43 millimeter or 46 millimeter, which would be the Navitimer World Edition. They have some newer editions like the Navitimer 01, which are a little more pricey and probably won't hit that 5K threshold until they hit the pre-owned market for a little bit. But I guarantee you most of those will come down underneath the 5K mark if you give them 2 to 3 years to depreciate to the full depreciation schedule. Anything that you buy in terms of a Navitimer, whether it's blue dial, black dial, gray dial, will look good. You can even do the white dials. that's not so much the concern. I would still focus on the size of the case. And again, if you can, and you have the wrist size to hold it, the dial with the measurement readings that are some of the second generations are the ones that are really hot and people will still look after. If I had only under 5K to go buy a watch and people ask me, what would you buy? I'd say I still love the Breitling Navitimer, even though the brand itself is somewhat making a transition and trying to find its new niche in the space. It's having a little bit of trouble reconnecting with the power that the Navitimer brought to the market. That's the one that's the go-to. Like, it still carries a lot of bang for the buck for that watch, even if you're wearing and have a collection of millions of dollars of watches. So I love that watch. Number 4 on the list, I'd love to go with the Aikon Skeleton. So we're back to Maurice Lacroix. The Aikon Skeleton is actually probably the biggest value you're going to get for a watch when you look at the in-house watchmaking capacity that is there, when you look at the bracelet options being integrated within the case, and when you look at the skeletonization. The skeletonization is an aesthetic and a technique used by watchmakers where you are actually seeing the movement within the watch, and it's something that can bring excitement whenever you look at your wrist. I just kind of catch myself looking at skeleton dials, and that's the hot new trend for the past 7 years. It's been going that way. So for them to do a skeletonized in-house movement at the 7K mark, so it's a little above that 5K threshold, is incredible. You're not going to find pretty much anything else like that in that threshold, and it will hold value relatively well because there's not many out there around that dollar value. So even though Maurice Lacroix is a brand that's upcoming and on the upswing, it's not like a Rolex that's been around forever. The value you're getting for it as a Swiss in-house movement is well worth it. And then finally, number 5, yes, I'm going with Rolex, even though a Rolex usually bores me. If you know me, I can't deny their heritage, their legacy, and the prowess they have in the space. And I have to throw it back to the first one that I got when I was elevating my game, which is Rolex Datejust 1601. It's a 36 millimeter. I would go for the fluted bezel and any dial combo on a steel bracelet. Jubilee is kind of the hotter arrangement there, but you can elect for an oyster bracelet, although the 1601 predominantly came on a Jubilee bracelet setup, which is the iconic arrangement for those watches. At under 5K, you're probably going to be looking at a 36 millimeter in steel only. There are some that are two-tone gold and steel that are out there. It may be more of a vintage setup, which is still actually coming back. Gen Zers love the vintage look, and a lot of people are going for those smaller case sizes, as I said, whereas 10 years ago, everyone wanted the 41 millimeter. That was it. So it's still a great one to pick up. You look like the guy from Wall Street in those movies who's it's like the old Wolf of Wall Street, where you're kind of like getting your teeth cut and you're making a lot of money, and now all of a sudden you want to get your first watch, you buy that two-tone Datejust, and people just want to connect with you over it. Old guys, young guys, it looks like you're doing something big, and the best part is you can usually make money on those if you buy them correctly, get it authenticated and verified by a business like Benison independently if you're going to buy it pre-owned, so you're not getting something that's a Frankenstein or you're not getting scammed. And I'm telling you, it'll change the way you look at timepieces as a whole. I hope that this helps you scale your collection and get really interested in investing in timepieces. Call and contact us at Benison if you have any questions. We'd love to see you. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and we'll talk to you soon.